Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. On this video, I'm going to show you how we can read the Excel file using the sheet.js in Angular. And I'm going to use the directive, and I'm going to also use the observable to read the file. So let's begin. So I have my project which is running on a localhost 4200 here. And and this is my file in VS Code. Okay, so the first thing is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna remove this my template which is coming in VS Code, and I'm gonna just gonna type a test here, so it's gonna reload and show me the test. Okay, so the first thing I need to install this package, so I'll just install this package to my machine. So now it's not machine, yeah, my project, so it's going to install it. So once it's get installed, now I'm going to also create a new directive here. So before I create a directive, let's make the input field. Okay, so basically this is going to be our input field. The type is going to be file, and if I save it, then I will see a big input file right here. Okay, so I'm gonna use this to get the Excel file. Okay, so now my package has been installed, this package. Now the next is I'm going to create an ng generate a directive, and directive is going to be inside the directives folder, and this is going to be a read Excel directive. Okay, that's all it has. So I will just show you my package here. So this is my package.json file. In my package.json file, I install the XLSX, which is the library that's going to read the Excel file. So now I have a directive created here, and directive is called app read Excel. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my directive right here. So now it's gonna reload. My directive is binding with this input field, which is good. So whenever this directive is changed, so I need to do as a host listener here. So on a host listener, and this host listener is going to be on change, so I'll put on change function, and here the event I will provide give event dot target, and the target here, so this is going to be on change function. So on change function, now I will receive here the target, so I'll just say target, and I will receive as a HTML input element. Okay, so once I receive this on change here, the first thing is I will get my files, and files I need to get from target.files, and files has the bunch of array. I just want the first one, which is my target, the file, and once I have the file, then I can show it what's my file here. Okay, so now I will go in my here the pick this, and I have this output, and this is my output XML file, not XML, sorry, Excel file. So once I have this, now now the next step is I will read this using a read file reader, and I'll also use the observable here. Okay, so basically now I'm going to create a constant here called parse. You know what, it's Excel file, so I'll just give name as a Excel observable, and this would be a new observable, and this observable is coming from rx js. And when we create a new observable, then it will also take the function here as a parameter. So I will create as a subscriber, and this the type of this would be the similarly a subscriber, and this would be any field. Okay, and this need to be small letter here. So now this will return our arrow function here, so it will return some value. So in subscriber here, basically we can do our next like this. I'm gonna show it, but I'm not gonna use it. But next, and in next we can provide some data, and we can get using the subscribe function on this one. But on this one here, we need to read a file. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new fu- function called read file, and basically I will pass this read file here. Okay, so basically this is going to be this the read file, and read file will need to take two parameter. I'll create two parameter. One is file and another is subscriber, where I need to provide the next, and I need to add the value there. So this is going to be file, and the type is going to be file, and another going to be a subscriber, the exact same one, subscriber, and the type is going to be subscriber of any. So now this is, now whenever this will call is call, can call this function read file, and in read file inside I'm going to read the file which I have using the file reader. So this is going to be file reader, right? And this is going to be new file reader. And don't worry about, guys, if you're not following this one now, I'm gonna put this code in GitHub so you can check my code as well. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead here. So I'm gonna do a file reader dot read as. I'm gonna read as an array buffer. So once I read this as an array buffer, I need to provide what's my file. So I receive my file from here, see? And once I receive my file, so now the next step is to I have a file reader unload function. So unload function, I will receive my data from the file. Okay. So once I receive my the data from file here, I will get the e, and on an event here, I will get my result. Okay, e dot target dot result. So now I will receive the array buffer here. So once I receive the array buffer here, now I could use the library which I imported, and import everything. I think I need to import everything as xlxs from xlss library. Okay, so once I import this, now I could do here I could read the file using the library. And the first thing is I'm gonna read a file here. So I'm gonna use xlsx, and I'm gonna read. There's a function called read, and read will take my buffer array, which is my result here, and this result is going to be array buffer. So this is going to be I'm going to change this as a buffer array here, and I'm going to read this as a buffer array, and the type I'm going to provide here is a buffer. So this read function will read a variety of the options here, different ways, but if you want to check it out, then you can go here and check how many ways that it can able to read it, right? You using the same function. It's called read. Here it's reading as a string, and it's reading as HTML table, and yeah, there are many ways to read it, guys. So but I'm gonna read it as a buffer array here, so I just read as a buffer. So once I read as a buffer, and I will get this as I will write it as a workbook, and basically this will read and provide us the workbook of Excel. Okay, so I'm going to use xlss dot work xlss dot workbook type. So this is going to be xlsx dot workbook. So once I get the workbook, now in the workbook also there are many sheets here on the workbook. So I'm going to use ws name here, and this is going to be xl this is going to be a string, and I'm gonna get the workbook of the sheets name, the first one. There are many sheets which is situated in which is sitting in an array. So I'm gonna get the first sheet first, and after that I'm gonna use the first sheet name as my worksheet. So what I'm gonna do is xlxx. I'm gonna get this type, and I'm gonna do it as a worksheet here. Okay, and wb I can tell them that I want the first sheet to read it, and I would tell them that this is my sheet, and here I would provide this is my name of the first sheet which I want to read it. Okay, so I have a If I show you guys my Excel file here, this is my Excel file here. I'm going to open it. So in my Excel file, I have the item called my sheet name here, and I'm gonna use sheet name here. I'm gonna get the first one, which is my item, and I'm gonna pass this item here, and I'm gonna read this item sheet, which is this one. Okay, so I'm gonna read that. So to read it, there is a call. I'm gonna put that the file in a data and X and in data, and I'm gonna read Excel. There's a function called XLSX dot util dot read no sheet to JSON. So I'm going to convert that to JSON, and I'm going to put that my worksheet here. Okay, sheet to JSON and sheet not add, sorry, sheet to JSON, and I'm going to read that. And once I read it, now I have a subscriber function. Now I'm back to RxJS, and I'm going to tell them next. Okay, I'm going to read this next. And once I subscribe is done, then I'm going to tell them, okay, it's complete. No need to do anything. So now here on the top, one subscriber, when it's been subscribed, now, I mean, data is there and the streamline, then I could able to subscribe and I could able to get it here. So, okay, so let's test this out. So now if I pick my Excel file, then I will see all my data, which is I have in Excel here in a console here. Okay, so it's in HRM gamma, so it's in HRM gamma. It start with a CE25, start with a CE25 here, which is okay. So once I have this, now I need to pass back to my view, or you can also pass back using the event emitter if you want to pass back the data to the app component, or if you want to pass back and you want to see it in view, then you could also use as export as. So I'm gonna put it here in my view. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use this as my private not private call Excel data. I'm gonna create Excel data here, and this Excel data is going to be observable of any, doesn't even matter. So once I get the Excel data, so your Excel observable, I'm going to use this exact same one, Excel observable, and I'm going to put this, and I don't want to subscribe here. So now I get the observable in this here, and I'm going to use as export as in my directive, and export app called read Excel, and I'm going to use this Excel on here. Okay, so here I could do I use export as, so I could export my template reference variable, which is right here, and I use export as, so I could use a template reference variable, which is in here. So on this one I could get read file, not read file, sorry, Excel observer. So Excel observable. So once I have this, now I know it's gonna give me, I think it's gonna give me a error, but I will just put it here. No, it doesn't give me a error, it just give me the object of this. So basically this is going to be the JSON. So now if I import my Excel file, I'll just see Scala file. It doesn't see anything. Yeah, of course, because I bind this with the observable. This is observable, and this need to be a async on pipe. So if I use async pipe, now I need to see all my objects here. This is all my data. Okay, so I know this is all object. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a UL and li field. Okay, on UL I'm gonna use ng for and I'm going to use let n of this Excel file async, and I will receive my n here dot what could be a, what is the item this. So here, so I don't want this. So now basically I use as export as in my observable, so I get this. Okay, so if I use this and if I output, then I will see all my item here. It's printing all my item, and this is reading from my Excel file right here. So this is a one way you can push the data from directive, right? This is also a one way you can push the data and you can do anything from directive. But if you really want the data in a component, then you could also use an event emitter on directive field. You know what? I'm gonna do that one as well. So using the event emitter, whenever the data is ready, then you just pass that data using the event emitter. So I'll create something called output. So basically it's gonna throw a data. So this is going to be event emitter, and this is going to new event emitter. Okay. So once I use this as output direct output, I need to call decorator. Oh yeah, of course I need to call decorator here. So once I have this, so in event emitter, uh, this dot event emitter, I need to put the event image, sorry, image, and in an event image I could pass the value, what's going to be value, and the value of course is going to be from here in subscribe. So whenever it's going to subscribe, right? So whenever I get the data, then in this observable, I could pass my data on my event emitter. And once I pass my data to event emitter right here, and using this event emitter, I could here in my directive, I could create another function called data from event emitter, and I will use this as a dollar sign data, doesn't even matter. So I will create these functions on my component here, app.component, and I need to receive a data here, okay, in my console log. So if I, so there's an error dot data doesn't, okay, so maybe I can't put this dot data. Yep, I'll put that event. So now if I check my console log, and if I go here and if I do output, then as you can see, I also see using this template reference variable here, and this is printing from 12, which is in my app.component here in 12. So this is how you can also retrieve or data in a component using a directive, using also the XLSX library. All right, I hope you guys like this video, guys, and please let me know if you guys have any questions, and please do not forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.